Ready for a deep dive? We're getting into the world of weaving today.
Weaving.
Yeah, weaving. I know. You're probably picturing, what, tapestries? Maybe some knitting needles your grandma used to have?
Right, right.
But trust me on this. This is an industry that's way more high-tech than people realize. And honestly, it's got some really interesting career paths, too.
It really is kind of amazing. People
And
see weaving and it's all like, oh, how quaint, how traditional. But really, it's this whole blend of hand-powered skills and digital tools. Like they all come together.
it's almost like we're going to uncover, like, this hidden world
Mm.
where you've got, like, Silicon Valley, but then also, like, these centuries-old traditions.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah.
And the best part, we've got this whole stack of resources from RoleCatcher. They're, I don't know if you've heard of them, but they're really changing how skilled trades like weaving connect with job opportunities. So we're going to get the inside scoop today.
That's
So
fantastic.
no more like daydreaming about quiet little workshops.
Right.
What's the real work environment like for a weaver these days?
Think like busy factories, workshops that are really hunting. Now, don't get me wrong. You might have a few weavers out there working from home, enjoying that setup.
Sure, sure.
But our sources, they're saying it's way more, how do I put it, dynamic than a lot of people probably expect.
Okay, so not just like Zen and fiber arts all day.
Right. Not exactly. This is a job where you need stamina. You need to be paying attention to every little detail. We're talking operating machinery, troubleshooting, something goes wrong technically. And you might even be dealing with, hazards like dust, noise, that kind of thing.
Ah.
Yeah, safety is a big deal in this line of work.
Wow, okay. I'm already getting industrial athlete vibes from all this, seriously. But speaking of industrial, we got to talk about automation. It's the elephant in the room, right?
Yeah.
How is all this technology changing the need for like actual handcrafted weaving?
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, it's easy to think, oh, more automation. That means hand weaving is disappearing.
Right, right.
But here's the thing. Our sources say hand-powered looms still super in demand, especially when you're making like luxury items, one-of-a-kind pieces. Machines just can't replicate that.
Yeah, that makes sense. You can't mass produce that kind of character, that uniqueness that you get from like a loom that's been passed down.
Exactly, exactly. And this actually, it kind of mirrors what we're seeing in the whole industry. Some weaving jobs, those more traditional ones, they might decrease as technology changes. But if you've got specialized skills, those are gold. And that's actually where a platform like RoleCatcher is so interesting. Have you ever heard of like a loom checkout sheet?
A what? No, that sounds way more technical than I ever pictured.
I know, right? And RoleCatcher, it helps make sense of all those industry terms, those little details, and it connects skilled workers like our weavers with the right employers.
So it's like a digital matchmaker, but for skilled trades?
Pretty much.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Our sources mentioned it does a bunch. Building a good CV or resume, getting you actually noticed by companies.
It's huge. In
Yeah.
such a competitive job market, you got to have every advantage.
For sure, for sure. It's not just what you know anymore, right?
Yeah.
It's how you show it off.
Exactly.
So if someone wants to become a weaver, like, where do they even start?
Okay, so we've
Yeah.
got this career guide, Weaver source. It's really cool. It lays everything out. So usually you'd start as an entry-level weaver,
Okay.
learning the basics. Someone more experienced is showing you the ropes. You're getting good at like running the looms, figuring out the different materials.
Right.
And yep, even those loom checkout sheets we were talking about.
It really is amazing when you think about it.
Yeah.
How much goes into weaving that, like, we never even think about.
Oh, absolutely. And then as you get better, you move up. Junior weaver, that's the next step.
Okay.
And at that level, it's not just do this, do that. You're starting to troubleshoot things yourself, solving problems. You might even be mentoring someone newer than you.
Huh.
Yeah. And, one of the junior weavers in here, they actually said, I love that we all work together. They were saying we're always like sharing ideas, trying to figure out how to do things better, faster.
It sounds like it's a really close-knit kind of field.
It really does. Yeah. Like a real sense of community.
Yeah.
And that's even more important when you reach like the top level senior weaver.
Ah, okay. So that's when you're like the loom whisperer.
Ugh.
Everyone comes to you when something's really tricky.
Ordinals.
Right.
Leading teams, showing new people how it's done. You're coming up with strategies to make sure the quality is top notch, that everything's running smoothly.
That's a lot of responsibility.
It is. But, we should be real for a second. No job is perfect.
True. True.
So what did our source say about the maybe not so great parts of being a weaver.
Well, it definitely sounds like you got to be strong to do this work
Yeah.
and patient. Like really patient. What else though?
Yeah, so the sources say that even though, like, handcrafted stuff is more popular now, the pay for weavers can be not amazing,
Yeah.
especially when you're just starting out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And for some people, they become self-employed, right? They love that. But
Yeah.
for others, if they're working for a company, it can be tough to move up, you know?
So it's like you got to find what you're really good at, specialize,
Yeah,
maybe.
totally. Like those luxury carpets we talked about.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know what's really helpful? They have these example profiles in the career guide, and it's like real weavers talking about their experiences.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so you get to see the difference between like someone brand new just starting their journey versus someone who's been doing it forever and they're managing a whole team. That kind of stuff is so valuable.
It's true. It's like getting a backstage pass, seeing how it all actually works.
Exactly.
But, okay, let's talk about getting that job in the first place.
Okay.
Our source, RoleCatcher,
Yeah.
streamline your job search. They're saying this platform is really changing how job hunting works.
It is.
Isn't it wild how applying for jobs now is all like algorithms and stuff? It's barely even human sometimes.
Yeah, it's the rise of the like automated recruiter.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely changing things.
It feels like a lottery sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, like, is the computer even going to like my resume enough for a real person to see it?
Yeah.
But RoleCatcher, they're saying they can help you or like work with the algorithms. Is that right?
Yeah, it's not about tricking the system or anything. It's
No.
about, you know, figuring out how to talk to it. RoleCatcher, it helps you make your CV or your resume. It makes it so those algorithms pick up on the right stuff, like the exact skills they're looking for, the right keywords.
And they use AI to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I used to hate rewriting my resume for every single job.
Mm-hmm.
It took forever.
This makes it so much easier. You just put your resume in, they look at the job description you're interested in, and boom, it shows you exactly what to change to get noticed.
That's so smart.
It's like having your own, like, marketing expert, you know, making sure you stand out.
Totally. Totally. Okay, but then if I'm getting this right, RoleCatcher also works the other way around. So employers can find you based on your skills.
Exactly.
So you don't have to do all the work of applying everywhere.
Exactly. It's both ways. It's not just you chasing down every lead. You can be discovered. But, and this is important, your profile on there, it's got to be good. Up to date, showing what you're really capable of.
Yeah, you got to put yourselves out there, right?
Right.
Okay, but what about the interview? That's always the worst part for me. I get so nervous.
Don't worry, RoleCatcher has thought of that too.
Seriously, what do they do?
They've got, get this, 120,000 practice interview questions.
Wait, 120,000.
Yeah, and it's for all kinds of industries, all kinds of skills.
Wow. But, okay, is it just a bunch of random questions or is there some logic to it?
There totally is. So get this. They use AI again, and it actually listens to how you answer the practice questions. It's like having your own personal interview coach, giving you feedback, telling you how to improve, everything.
It's like you're basically guaranteed to nail that interview, get the job right.
Right. Well, you know, almost. But that actually brings up a really good point from our source here. RoleCatcher.
Your competitive edge, they call it.
Okay.
They say it's not just about getting a my job. It's got to be the right job.
That's true.
You got to think long term, you
Yeah.
know? Plan your career. People don't do that enough when they're job hunting, I think.
Yeah, it's so easy to just like apply, and forget to think, wait, do I even want this?
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's where this thing, RoleCatcher's Career Compass, it can really help.
Okay.
So our source explains this tool, it figures out what kind of career path actually makes sense for you, like based on what you're good at, what you like to do, what you actually want to be doing in the future.
I mean, that would have been amazing to have starting out.
Yeah.
Honestly, even now, like you never know what's out there, you know?
Right. And once you have a better idea of where you want to go, RoleCatcher, it can connect you with like courses online, workshops, all that stuff to help you get the skills you need.
So it's like having like a career counselor, but it's an app.
Kind of? Yeah. Pretty cool.
This has been so interesting. I always thought weaving was cool, but I never knew like any of this. From those huge factories to the AI stuff,
Yeah,
it's wild.
it is. Yeah.
Okay, but before we finish up completely, something just popped into my head. Our sources, they don't mention this, but
Mm.
do you think AI is ever going to be used to, like, design the actual woven patterns themselves?
Whoa. That's a good question. Can you imagine algorithms making these crazy intricate tapestries, or even just like you put in what you want and it designs it for you.
That would be insane. But
Yeah.
then, like, does that take away from the art? You know what I mean?
Why, yeah. It's definitely going to be a debate, right?
Yeah,
AI coming into something so traditional, some people are not going to like that.
for sure.
But maybe there's a way to do both.
Yeah.
Like they work together.
Could be really cool, actually. Like, AI helps you push the boundaries even further, but it's still the Weavers doing their thing.
Exactly. The possibilities are endless.
This is why I love doing these deep dives.
Yeah.
So cool. Well, everyone listening, there you have it.
Mm.
Weaving. Not what you thought, right? We've gone from the factory floor to, like, the future of tech all in one go.
And don't forget RoleCatcher. If you're in a skilled trade, definitely check them out.
For sure. So next time you see something that's been woven, like really beautifully made, take a second. Think about all the skill that goes into that, you know?
Yeah.
Might be way more high-tech than you realize. Until next time.